Hey guys, it's Jaime Pfeffer back with you again today for another free psychic reading. And in this reading, we are looking at what are all the emotions that you're experiencing trying to tell you. If you are interested in finding out why your emotions have been going up and down recently, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this reading. Okay, hey, welcome back. And in this reading, we are looking at what are your emotions trying to tell you? And one of the main reasons that I'm doing this reading is that I have noticed that my emotions have really been like totally up and down, crazy all over the place over the past week. So if I'm feeling it, I'm sure that some of you are feeling it too. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. And just to be clear, we're going to be going deeper into the emotions. I don't know if you've ever seen that analogy of like an iceberg, and basically you can only see like a little bit of it at the top, but underneath there's like so much more going on. That's what we're going to look at in this reading, okay? So this is a pick a card reading. So what I first want to do is welcome you to my channel. Thank you so much for being here if you are new, and if you are not new, welcome back. If you haven't yet, please go down below and make sure that you click on the like button and the red subscribe button. That way you will get a notification anytime I post a new reading. Okay, now that I've got that out of the way, this is going to be a pick a card reading. And so what you're going to want to do is look at the image in front of you, and you will see 3 piles of cards, each one with a different crystal on top. So what you want to do is you want to take a deep breath in, and then you want to look at those 3 piles of cards and ask yourself, which pile is speaking to you? Is it pile A, which is on the left? Is it pile B, which is in the center? Or pile C, which is on the right? Take as long as you need to pick your pile, and also please know that it's completely okay to pick more than one. And then once you have your pile, you can go down below the video and there will be timestamps listed. That way, if you didn't choose pile A, you can go straight to pile B or C. Okay, I will see you soon with your reading. Bye. Hey, to everybody that chose stack A. And if you chose this pile for the question, what are my emotions trying to tell me? You chose this amazing smoky quartz celestial, it's called. That is the type of crystal that it is, an celestial. And smoky quartz is an incredible grounding stone, okay? So this is a root chakra stone. This is something that you can put right at your tailbone when you're meditating, or even when you're in bed, if you're watching TV or working or whatever you're doing. This crystal will really actually absorb negative energy, and it really helps to ground you. So if you're somebody that spends a lot of time in your head thinking about things, or if you're somebody that feels anxious often, or you go into, fight or flight, particularly if you go into freeze or flight, this will really help you to get more grounded in your own body, to be in your own energy, okay? I will put a link below for the smoky quartz celestials. This is a bigger piece, so it's more expensive than some of the other crystals that I list, but it's more powerful in my opinion, because it's a bigger piece, okay? I love mine. It's amazing. Okay, so what we're doing in this reading is we're looking at what are your emotions trying to tell you. And so, emotions sometimes, you feel happy, something good's happening, or something good just happened. You might feel sad, you might have felt like you lost something. But for a lot of people, especially if you're an empath or highly sensitive person, or if you are somebody who grew up in a dysfunctional household, you either might not even be able to identify your feelings or your emotions, or you might feel emotions and feelings so strongly and intensely, you may not even know if they're yours or not. Okay, so that's why we're looking at this. And what I'm doing in this reading is I'm really looking at the situation that you're currently in, or your most recent current situation. And then we're going to look at some advice that the universe or your higher self wants to give to you. And then we're just going to look at some cards about, what can you do to keep your emotions more at an even keel, okay? So we're starting out with the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And the first card I got for you was the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this is an awesome card to get. This really shows me or tells me that currently you are no longer splitting your time and juggling between two things. So my guess is that you had two really big or important things in your life that you were trying to multitask, okay? So this could be like a job and a side hustle, or it could be a relationship and a job, or you were just really giving so much though. It could be like your children and your job, or I even had it could be maybe if you had one relationship and then you also had another relationship on the side. You're not doing this anymore. You've come to the realization that you were spreading yourself too thin and you were giving too much to these other things, and there wasn't enough that was being left for you, okay? So that is what the Two of Pentacles in reverse is symbolizing for me right now. The next card that you got is another two, and this is the Two of Wands. And so as you can see, we've got this figure here who is in red, so he is grounded. He is a grounded individual. So I'm really happy that you got the smoky quartz. And so you can see him, and he's got the world in his hand, and he's in his hands, and he's looking out on the horizon. He's waiting for his ships to come in. He's almost maybe a little bit impatient. So you may want to see if you're feeling impatient, and if you are, this smoky quartz can really help you to slow down and try not to force things, okay? That impatience can often come from the masculine energy inside of you, okay? Being tired of waiting, maybe feeling tired, feeling exhausted, okay? But you do know that these ships are going to be coming in. As you can see though, he's still standing between these two things, okay? And one of these is actually bolted to the wall. So even though you're not completely juggling like this, I feel like you've really had an awareness about this, that this was not good for you. You may still feel a little bit apprehensive or impatient. And I feel like this impatience and all that has to do with this energy. I'm really getting the feeling that you've been putting a lot into something for a very long time, and you haven't been getting the returns that you want, and you don't understand why. So that could actually be why you feel so emotional, okay? Yeah, and I mean, even when you look at on the bottom here, we've got these roses that are crossed. You've got the red roses and the white roses that are crossing each other like this, okay? So there is still a little bit of, I don't want to say uncertainty, but almost like you've expected this thing to come and it hasn't come yet, okay? And I'm almost feeling like you may be feeling angry about it, or maybe you were feeling angry. Maybe that's what your feelings were previously. The smoky quartz can definitely help you with diffusing anger and really accepting that anger. And also I want to mention I've got an amazing studio recorded meditation called the Anger Releasing Meditation. So if you are dealing with anger and really just having a hard time moving that anger, you might want to check out that meditation. So let us look at what else you have. Okay, beautiful. So your next card is quiet. And this is from the Mother Mary Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And again, we've got this red. She's in this red outfit. So this is really about grounding. You need to make sure that you're grounding yourself in reality, okay? And I almost feel like with this baby here, I feel like this has to do with your inner child or inner children. This something that's going on with this situation where you were juggling two things has to do with your childhood and some kind of wounds that you got in your childhood. And you're trying to make something happen here, and it's triggering something that happened in your childhood. It may be triggering anger, it may be triggering shame, it may be triggering feeling rejected or feeling like you're not good enough, feeling unworthy, okay? And so your advice here is to go into peaceful silence and listen. So what I'm really hearing here is take time for just you, okay? Let's see what else we have, because I have some other really gentle cards here. All right, so then I pulled from the Fairy Oracle deck, and the next card I got was play. So if you have been in this position where you've been trying to juggle these two things and you've decided to put it down, but you're waiting, like, brum, 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 where is it? You know what I mean? Your guidance really is to get quiet and meditate. So calm yourself down and get outside and play, or not get outside. You can play anywhere, right? Step outside and feel the sun, breathe the air, play, have some fun. So that's what you're being guided to do. And then the next card you got is portals. And this card says, where do we play? In nature, that's where the garden gate will take you there. And so the last card that I picked for you is from the Angel Cherub deck, also by Doreen Virtue. These are children's cards, but I love using them for inner child work. They're fantastic. And so your last card is one step at a time. So instead of just, saying, I want that prize or I want that finish line or whatever it is right now, right? You are being reminded to take things one step at a time, okay? I'm also really feeling to tell you about divine timing. And so even if you've done everything according to the exact way that, the experts tell you that you're supposed to do it, it just may not be time right now, okay? If you're a woman and you've ever been pregnant, I know for me, when I had my kids at about 32 weeks, I was ready, okay? I was ready. I didn't think I could take it anymore. I wanted to meet them, and I'm just being honest here. I was done. I had 2 really difficult pregnancies, and I just wanted it to be done. But unfortunately, for me at the time, or fortunately, it wasn't the right time. The gestational period is 40 weeks or, 38 to 40 weeks, right? That's when they want you to really go. They want you to go until then. And so there was really nothing I could do. I just had to wait it out. And that's what I'm feeling with this and with this whole reading, okay? And so let's bring the smoky quartz back in. This can really help you to temper expectations without invalidating them, right? Like, it's okay to have expectations. It's okay to feel impatient. It's okay to want something now, okay? And if you want to live in more peace or more calm, right? You've got these inner children inside of you that are trying to talk. And so you might have you can tell the wounded inner child, which is typically from like ages 0 to 9 or so, I'll say. And then you've got the adolescent. And so the wounded inner child typically comes out with crying and just feeling really, really hurt, like deeply hurt, wounded, not seen, not heard, not enough attention being given. And the adolescent comes out usually with anger or perfectionism, trying to do everything perfectly, and they'll keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, even though they're totally exhausted. What you really want to do is you want to honor both of those parts of you because they're both inside of you. And you want to try to find a balance and let those children know that they're amazing and they're wonderful. And whether or not you have this thing, whatever this thing is that you want to get your hands on, right? Whatever it is that has to do with these two cards, whatever it is that you were juggling and you're waiting to come in, whether or not you have that thing, it would be wonderful. But you're whole and complete and worthy just as you are. And the emotions that you're feeling right now are there for a reason. They might feel really difficult at times, but there is a reason, whether it's to make you stronger, whether it's to heal those parts of you so that you can grow and evolve more. I know that that's really difficult to hear when you're in the thick of those really crappy, intense emotions, but that's what I'm getting. So, and the other card I got for the fairies, I don't know if I mentioned it or not actually, is portals. And so this is talking about a portal opening up for you, okay? So don't give up hope on this. Don't give up hope. Don't walk away from it. You just need to take a little bit of a step back. Give it some breathing room. Make sure that you're still paying attention to yourself and your inner children so that you're not focusing everything on these two things, okay? You want a well-rounded thing and you want to go one step at a time. And so this card talks about, where do we play? In nature, that's where the garden gate will take you there. So this, again, is talking about grounding because nature is very grounding. It's Mother Earth. So whether it's you going outside and being in nature, watching a nature program on TV, watching YouTube, you can find free meditations or free music where they just show forests. Like I do this a lot if it's like raining, and because I have a really deep connection with nature, especially trees, okay? Trees are very grounding. So you're going to find relief when you surround yourself with nature or with trees or with that type of energy. It's very grounding, and that's exactly what this smoky quartz celestial is, okay? I really hope that helps you. If it did, please make sure that you leave me a comment. I love hearing from you, and it really it makes my day. It's not your job to make my day, but it really is helpful for me to receive feedback, positive feedback in terms of what I'm doing and the individuals that are resonating with it. It also allows me to connect with you, and I really enjoy that. So I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, it's Jaime Pfeffer, and I am so grateful that you picked Stack B. So if you picked Stack B, welcome to your reading. And the first thing that we're going to look at is your crystal, and this is called Tangerine Quartz. This is such a beautiful piece of Tangerine Quartz. This is actually what it looks like when it's sitting upright. And this is one of my favorite pieces. I love this piece. I just find it to be so empowering, really. I find it to be very empowering. I also find it to be joyful and to have grounding properties to it as well. So Tangerine Quartz is really amazing for the sacral chakra, and that is the chakra that's located below your belly button, and it has to do with the reproductive organs and creation. When the sacral chakra is blocked, you could definitely be feeling emotional. You could be feeling a lot of sorrow. Your joy could be totally gone. This is also the chakra that often gets wounded in childhood, especially if we grow up in dysfunction. And it is also the place where addictions lie, including codependency. So we're talking about things like, people pleasing, losing your identity, or the other end of the spectrum where you're engulfing people with your identity, okay? So it really is like two extremes. There could be like the very passive giving person who ends up becoming resentful because they're giving so much to other people and they're not giving to themselves. Or you could have the aggressive taker type of personality. And I'm talking about, if you're in either one of those, that's out of balance. So the middle, which would be balanced, would be creation and manifesting what you desire and also feeling joyful. So I will put a link below for Tangerine Quartz. I am going to put a link for this particular size. I do believe that the bigger crystals give more of an impact, and that has been the case for me personally. Not to say that a small crystal can't help you, because it definitely can, but if you have a bigger crystal, you've got a bigger impact. At least that's been my experience. So what we're looking at is your current situation, and we're going to look at your emotions and what your emotions are trying to tell you, particularly if you've been feeling very emotional over the last week and you're like, what the heck is going on here? That's exactly how I've been feeling, to tell you the truth. And I'm like, is this the astrology? Is this Mercury retrograde? Is this my hormones? What the heck is going on? So that is why we are doing the reading. So the first card that I had for you was the Eight of Cups in reverse. So in the upright, the Eight of Cups symbolizes somebody that's moving on from something. When it's in reverse, it means that the person's not moving on from that thing, okay? And your next card is the Sun, which is great. So it seems to me like choosing not to move on from something, and I feel like you were like deeply contemplating this, choosing not to move on from something has brought out the Sun in your life. So that is amazing. Also, I can't help but notice the white horse, which is a symbol of freedom and purity. So, and then this baby, we've got this baby, and we've also got the sunflowers, which symbolize spirit for me. We've got this baby that has a crown of sunflowers, and the baby is really a symbol of new life or new beginnings. So I feel like you were thinking about walking away from something and you decided or discovered that it wasn't right. It wasn't sitting well with you to walk away from it. And so now you're in a position where you have been able to have or get what you want or feel comfortable in this situation. Whereas when you were considering leaving it before, you really didn't feel comfortable at all. So I think that you've either discovered something about the situation, you've shifted your perception and you're looking at it in a different way, or maybe you just realize, like, if I walk away, these are going to be the consequences and I don't want to lose those things, right? So the Sun's an amazing thing. I also have to say that I was just reading something yesterday that was talking about a brick wall showing up. And so there is a brick wall in this card. The good thing is, though, the thing that I was reading was talking about, instead of focusing on brick walls that are in front of us and wanting to get rid of these brick walls or wanting them to stop, we can look beyond the brick wall and see what we actually want to see, okay? And visualize what we want to see instead of just focusing on the negative or the thing that's bothering us. And I just love that, because if you look at this card, you've got this brick wall, but you barely notice it because you've got this beautiful baby on this horse. You've got this amazing blazing sun in the background with all of these sunflowers. And then you've got this red like scarf here. So this is really cool. I love this. And this really goes along with this crystal, which can symbolizes joy. It symbolizes energy, pure energy. So let's see what else we got here. So you got you got two cards from the Mother Mary deck. And so your first card is Be Strong. I pull myself up and do what needs to be done. So I don't know if this is talking to you about the situation that you were thinking about leaving. Maybe there's something difficult in that situation. But I do notice that she's got like a reddish orange dress on. So you could be doing work around trauma triggers or something that triggers you or that used to trigger you. And it's difficult and it could be triggering you, but you're looking at it in a different perspective now. And this card is talking to you about, be strong during these circumstances. You don't want to walk away from it. You can handle it, right? So I know for me, this is the type of work that I'm doing right now. And so I'm experiencing these triggers happening, but I know logically that this is an old tape and that it isn't even true. Like, I know that it isn't true right now. And it's funny because your next card is marriage, right? And so it talks about, I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. So I have an amazing marriage today. I have a very, very strong marriage. And something started to come up a couple days ago because I've been doing work around not feeling seen and not feeling heard. And so I started to see a couple things like that in my husband. And I kept saying to myself, like, this is not true. He just bought you, he bought me like 3 bouquets of flowers on Saturday. Like, so I was saying to myself, like, wow, it's so weird that I'm having this feeling that he's not seeing me or that I'm not seen. Like, I don't know. It's so strange, but I can feel it because I'm very sensitive. So I was able to speak to him about it and tell him what was happening for me on an emotional level. And I was also able to do it in a very calm, non-blaming way and just say, I'm feeling this and I know that it isn't anything that you're doing. It's a trigger of something that is from my past. And I know that because it was so intense and so strong. And this particular thing is something that I'm working on right now in my life. So you too may be experiencing something like that. Or maybe there is something going on with your marriage where you were going to walk away and you've decided not to. Or, this could also be not only like a typical traditional marriage between 2 people, but this could be like a commitment to yourself or some other type of marriage, some other type of commitment, deep commitment. So let's see what else we've got here. Beautiful. So your next card is butterflies. I also feel like, before I jump too far ahead, this could be about somebody that has lost a partner. They've lost their husband or wife, and this is about being strong while they get through that situation. Also, okay, so your next card is from the fairy deck, and it's butterflies, right? And so butterflies, immediately when I see butterflies, I think of change. So if you're somebody who resonates with what I was saying before about these triggers and being at a point where you are removed from these triggers, and the emotion might not be totally removed, but in your mind, you're aware of it. It's a limiting belief, really, is what it is. It's a belief that was installed in you or instilled in you at a young age. And these beliefs, until we become aware of them, we don't even know. We're just like on autopilot. We're just reacting to certain things, right? We're being triggered. And so when I saw the butterfly card, I was like, this is somebody that's going through a massive change, because butterflies they aren't the type of creature that is like born that looks, that they're going to evolve into what they look like in the future. They look completely different. They're caterpillars, right? They don't look anything like a butterfly. When they're, I'm not talking about like a human baby that ends up looking like a big human. They look completely and totally different, right? There's only a couple species that are like that. Butterflies, tadpoles too. They look completely different. But the butterfly even goes into like the cocoon and everything. So my guess is that you have really been doing some deep, deep, deep internal work, whether or not you know it. And you've been cocooned away. And that may have happened just due to COVID, right? It might have been like an accidental thing. And you've been cocooned away, and you're getting to the point where you are really going to shift you're shifting. You're releasing that cocoon. You're releasing that dead skin or that dead weight or that old persona, okay? this card in particular is talking about seeing butterflies and having them remind you of people that you've lost. Okay, so that could certainly also be the case. But what I was really feeling was you're going through a massive transformation right now. And anytime we're going through a massive transformation, we need to be strong, right? Because it can just be backbreaking. It can be there's so much pressure and it's just so different. We just feel so different. We can feel, and of course, if you have been feeling emotional, this could certainly be why. Stress causes feelings as well, okay? And pressure and just the things we put on ourselves and all the things we deal with on a daily basis. And so your last card is from the Cherub Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. I love this deck. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's so gentle. And so I picked this card to tell you, what is an action that you can take? I don't know about you, but I'm very action oriented. I'm very solution oriented, and I don't like to wallow in certain feelings, right? I don't like to, of course, we have to stay with certain feelings and then they pass. But this is actually giving you an action item that you can do. Sometimes doing that, taking action, can help lessen anxiety. And so your card is so beautiful, and it is say a prayer. So if you are going through a massive transformation and you might even be thinking in your head, I know this is going to pass, I know this is going to pass, but it can be really, really painful. Your guidance is to say a prayer. And I did this myself this morning. I had a lot of really strong emotions this morning. I went through anger, I went through deep hurt, and I don't usually do that. And so I did say a prayer, and I just was like, angels, help me, And next thing I knew, I heard something, and it was exactly what I needed to hear, and that just really helped lift my spirits. So I hope that you enjoyed your reading, Stack B. If you did, please go down below and leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. I love connecting with you. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Hi to everyone that chose Stack C. And if you chose Stack C, you picked this gorgeous green apophyllite crystal. And there's a really good view of it. Apophyllite is such a cleansing and clearing crystal. So if you pick this stack, green apophyllite is for the heart chakra. So if you pick this stack, this is really telling me that you're going through a purification of your heart chakra. I feel like you are an absorber, empathic, or you've been deeply, deeply, deeply wounded, particularly in your childhood, but it could have been all the way through your life. And you've just had these wounds and these triggers that have been going on that unfortunately have caused you to feel unwanted at times, unseen, unheard, unimportant, worthless. And you've got this amazing gift in your heart chakra. You've got so much love and so much sensitivity, and you're so aware of everybody, right? And that alone is a gift, and it's special. And there aren't a lot of people that are aware of everybody around them, or that feel every little thing around them. And I know this because I am one of those people that feels, right? And that can tell before I get somewhere if someone's feeling upset, or I can tell by a little tiny minuscule change in someone's face, or the tone of their voice, or whatever. I often know before the person themselves even knows that something's bothering them, okay? Green apophyllite, I'm hearing, is here for you today to tell you that you may not have people around you like yourself, because you are so special, because your gift is so special. It is a rare and unique gift. And so it isn't because you aren't worthy of having that. It's because it's just so rare, okay? I will put a link below for green apophyllite. This is an excellent, excellent stone for anybody that is feeling pain in their heart, guilty or ashamed, or if you've got tension in any of your relationships, or you've got memories of things that still haunt you, of people that were mean to you or unkind or didn't reciprocate with you. This is an amazing, amazing stone to help cleanse that heart chakra and let go of that sludge and let go of other people's actions or energies that may have been displaced on you because they aren't yours. They aren't for you to carry, okay? So what we're doing is we're finding out, wow, this is amazing. I'm really, really happy for you. So we're looking at where you are currently and what your emotions are trying to tell you. So your first card is the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is a great card to get in reverse. In the upright, it shows this individual who is looking at all of these different cups. And as you can see, they all hold different things, but none of them are really things that we would want to get, right? We've got the dragon with its tongue out. We've got a snake. We have a white cloth with red around it, and we don't know what's going to be under that. You know, you get the drift. And as you'll see, these are in cups and they're on top of clouds. So this is somebody who is very unsure about what to do, and they are like living in like a fantasy. They're just, they have no idea. They're not grounded at all. When it's in the reverse, it's showing that you're not in this fantasy thinking, okay? This card, often the fantasy future card, it can be called, and it just isn't rooted in reality, okay? When it's here, it shows me that you're not in a fantasy anymore, okay? And I really am hearing the word denial, like you're out of denial, okay? So you may have just uncovered some information about your family of origin that nobody else is aware of. It could just be you, or you've just uncovered information about something and it's been like a shock to you, okay? Or you uncovered it recently and you're kind of alone in this situation. And I think that what happened is you took this to heart. I feel like just this pain in my heart. And you took it on like it was your fault, okay? It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't cause this to occur, all right? You didn't cause anybody in your family to be in denial or to be in this situation, okay? But your next card is even better. It's amazing. It's the Magician. And so the Magician, as you can see, he's got all the resources that he needs to create what he wants. And I'm really feeling like you should check out stack B if you feel like that resonates with you, because stack B, we talked a lot about we talked a lot about creation, okay? I love this card because we've got this magician who's wearing this red robe, and the red signifies somebody who's grounded. We've got the infinity symbol over his head, which is about abundance, and it's about infinity, okay? Everlasting abundance that's just going to keep flowing in, okay? Just because he is who he is, he's worthy. We've got all this yellow, which is very empowering. It's very light. It's very joyful. Yeah, check out stack B because they had the sun card, and that's what this reminds me of too. This person has stepped into their power. You see he has the wand in his hand like this, okay? He's got the chalice on the table. There's the table. He's got the pentacle. He can co-create his own reality, and he knows it, okay? So what you're being told is you can co-create your own reality, okay? You don't have to stay in that pain. You don't. You don't have to stay in denial or in uncertainty or, not knowing what to do or not knowing who to believe. You can actually trust yourself, which I think you know at this point in time. So let's see what else you get. I'm very curious. Okay, the next card out is family. So this has something to do with your family. Just like I said, this could have to do with your family of origin. I really feel like this is related to dysfunction or addiction. If it's not, take what you like and leave the rest. This is a general reading, so it's never going to be completely specific. Well, it could be, but will probably be details that are different than your situation. And if you do want to know exactly for your situation, I want to invite you to book a private reading with me. It's just like these videos. I answer questions that are specific for you, and I offer them either in 30 minutes or 1 hour. There's a link below in the video. But this is about your family. And so this says, I pray for my family and give the situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. You can do that. You're the magician. You can do that. You can turn them over. You can let go. You can detach. You can detach the cords that are on your heart that have caused you to stay in this situation as long as you have, okay? And that may have harmed you. Let's see what else we have. Beautiful. Lead the way. Take the reins today. Others will follow if you lead the way. That's your fairy card. So you'll have to figure out what this is pertaining to you about. It could be about letting your family go, detaching. It doesn't mean that you have to sever ties with them forever. What I'm really getting is it's releasing the codependent bonds that are there, releasing the people pleasing or the going along to get along or the control, trying to control somebody, trying to control what they do, trying to get them to stop doing something. You can lead the way today. You can, because you are the magician, which is the creator, the co-creator. And your last card, which I really love, is this. Sensitivity is a gift. And it's perfect for what I was talking about at the start of the reading. It's also perfect for this crystal. A lot of times, those of us that are sensitive will say certain things, and the people around us don't understand what we're talking about. And so they're not there. They can't say, oh yes, you're right. They can't validate us. They don't see it. They may not want to see it, okay? They're very surface. Most people are very surface level, okay? If you're on this channel and you're watching this video, you're a deep person, okay? You're deep. You see things, like I was talking about with the iceberg. You see things that other people don't see, okay? You feel things that other people don't feel. And so it can be very isolating and lonely to be in a family of origin. I'm talking extended family or just the family. It can be very isolating to be in that scenario and be the only person that's sensitive. But unfortunately, that's often what happens, okay? You can be trying to talk to these people, but you can talk to them until you're blue in the face. They're not going to hear you until, for whatever reason, they're brought to hear you. And that may never happen, okay? We can't change somebody. We can't make them see our side. All we can do, really, is listen to ourselves, trust ourselves, and say, once we have enough time, I'm an adult, and this is what I see, and this is what I believe, and, I'd love to have you in my life if that's how you feel, but these are the criteria that would need to be followed in order for that to happen, okay? Just because other people don't see it doesn't mean it isn't there, okay? I think that that's one of the biggest things that sensitive people struggle with. We see so much, we feel so much, and so many people around us, especially those who are, were authorities of ours, don't see it. And so it can cause us to question ourselves, all right? Your sensitivity is a gift. You're a leader. You're being called to lead, okay? And what I'm really feeling is you're being called to lead yourself. You're being called to lead you and the parts that are inside of you instead of looking outside of you to people who may have drastically different beliefs than you do, right? We all have a right to our own beliefs, okay? No matter how old we are, right? And just like I would respect my parents' beliefs or my children's beliefs, I need them to also respect my beliefs, right? Or I expect them to. I can't control if they do or not, but I'm not going to try to control their belief or put my beliefs on them, because everybody has their own beliefs, right? And everybody's lives and different experiences contribute to what their beliefs are. And so what you're being told today is you're the magician, you're the co-creator of your life, okay? You are a sensitive person. Your sensitivity is a gift, and you can clear out the things that have been really hurting you or harming you regarding your family. I feel like this is really about family. This is about disagreements or different perceptions about things. And you may be feeling ashamed about your perceptions or about your feelings because nobody else around you holds those same feelings, but that doesn't mean that yours are wrong. It also doesn't mean that theirs are wrong, right? We live in a dialectical time. And so my beliefs are my beliefs, and they can be 100% true for me. And your beliefs can be your beliefs and be different than mine and be 100% true for you, if that makes sense. So anyways, you get the gist. I hope you liked your reading, and if you did, please make sure to go down below and comment and like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I love hearing from you. I love connecting with people. I love connecting with heart-centered people like you, and it really helps me with my business. I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.